Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Today we have for you a new Steel Division 2 League cast. This is group number 1, two of the big players, Herr versus Gonzo. Herr not having an absolutely fantastic time in this tournament, and Gonzo only played a few games up to this point as we are in the casts. So we'll see how this one goes. Herr playing the 21st Panzer on Vanguard, Gonzo playing the 26th Guards also on Vanguard. Here we have Herr's deck, and King Tiger in A and 2 King Tigers in B. So very much trying to get those King Tigers out early, but the income to do that, well, Herr, he has the 150 points in A, which is just under the 180 required for the Koenigs Tiger, but in B phase he's only got 120 points a minute, so that means he has to save at least 60 points from one of his minute sort of allocation of points in order to afford just one Koenigs Tiger in the next minute. So he has to go for a minute and a half without spending any money theoretically, and if he wanted to bring out 2 in a row, that's 3 minutes of income without actually bringing in any other unit whatsoever. So I find 21st Panzer, if you want to bring those Koenigs Tigers out in B on Vanguard income, you generally already want to be ahead in the game, and they will certainly seal the deal for you. But if you're behind and then you're having to spend 3 minutes worth of income on a Koenigs Tiger and no other units can come out in that time, you know, it can actually do the opposite. It could seal your fate as such. Other interesting points about the deck, well, plenty of light recon units, and look at the C-Phase SDKFZ 250/9s, 18 of them. Whether we'll make it to C-Phase, both players on Vanguard income, so I imagine both players are going to be aggressive from the start of the game, and we obviously know Gonzo's playstyle does favour early aggression. Herr's much more of a balanced or a methodical player, so I imagine he's picking Vanguard to try and match Gonzo's aggression and hold him out in A and B phase, whereas his actual play style is to kind of hold on. He has the SDKFZ 250/9s there in C phase, he has the Panzer Grenadiers in C phase, he has the 15 Panzer IVs in C phase, and he has the 4 SK18s in C phase. So his deck, you know, it has some depth to it. He only has 6 Pack 38s in A phase and then 4 Pack 43s. Against the 26th Guard, not a massive amount of tanks in terms of real heavy tanks. So they should get the job done. There's also the Ju-88 cluster bomber. Let's have a look at Gonzo's deck. He has obviously the IS-1 Comrotti, the big tank of the 26th Guards, in A phase. And actually he's elected to take the T-34Es in A phase as well, and hold off with the KV-1E and the KV-85s in both in B phase. So plenty of tanks there, and if we have a look at his deck, there's only the Gvardia giving him that C phase infantry. Everything else in A and B phase with the 12 M42 guns, so I imagine a lot of those will come out and pepper the early light vehicles of Herr. He has the ISU-152, he has the IS-1 Comrotti that's got a decent gun, he has the SU-85s and the IL-2-37s. All of those weapons can certainly penetrate the King Tiger, maybe not, you know, frontally, but if they get a decent side shot, they will all take that King Tiger down. So the King Tiger is not necessarily unbeatable. And in terms of the map, you obviously expect it to be in that northern side where the ground is very open, so I'd actually expect Gonzo to make a southern push, and as they're lining up we can see on the right hand side of the screen a lot of units going into that southern side, not so much in the north, so I expect Gonzo will try and overwhelm the southern area because in all likelihood we won't see the Königstiger come into this south area. Let's have a look at the deployments while we wait for the players to get underway. Now, is that A-phase Königstiger out on the battlefield? I don't think it is. Very much light units. Yeah, all the SPWs from Herr Robert. No real tank at this point. Is that the... no, there's a Panzergren there. I was wondering whether that was a possible commander, but no. So all the light recon vehicles out from Herr Robert. In terms of Gonzo, well, we have the T-34E and the OT-34 in the south. I'm sure they will provide some much needed armour in that southern side. Plenty of M42 guns, especially into the central area, and both sides get underway now. Let's look at the deployment. Yes, as predicted, Gonzo very heavy in this southern town, and Herr Robert, he has the forces to match Gonzo. I guess he's potentially making a rush forward into that central compound. Both players going for that, and I think this is the right play from Herr Robert. He needs to match. I mean, you can guess that Gonzo is going to push heavy in the south because of the Königstiger threat in the north, so you can match that, and then later on when you bring those Königsteigers, they will have a great deal of effect in that northern area, so you don't have to worry about not having too much there at the start. So the SPW-231 coming down the road, being opposed by the M42 gun, immediate crew kill. That's quite... oh, and the gun jam on the other SPW-233. What a start from that M42 gun. Herr Robert, both his armour pieces, or his light vehicles, taken out. But he will overwhelm the initial Ogmachiki. The Gvardia and Sapori now coming in, but Gonzo unloads them, you know, just in time. And... the Erzatstruppen currently on the road, they need to get into the buildings. The Gvardia and Sapir are coming around the sort of northern side of this area and will surround these units. Potentially, these Erzatstruppen I think are going to go down, and we're going to be left with two Panzergrens facing off a number of infantry units. And with those two SPWs going down, there's no real support from those light vehicles. The two tanks have come into the very southern area, and they will start to oppose the recon vehicles that are here, but there is a Panzer M4 that loves these short sightline engagements. Gonzo ordering another T-34E, so he's inspecting heavy resistance here. A bounce off the M4 that must have come from the I'm not sure what that came from, that bounced the M4 then. Must have been the Gvardia with the PTRD. There's a transmission damage on the 250-10. Oh, and now the T-34 engages, takes out one of those light vehicles, but they are engaging in response. Who's going to win this one out? The OT-34 comes in, gets another kill, and Herr Robert has lost a number of these light recon vehicles early on, and that's really going to hurt him. He's going to want to keep those around to support his infantry. The M4 is going to now get an engagement off. Does get the shooter knockout, so the T-34E falling back there brings back the recon vehicle. Gonzo retreating the OT-34, doesn't want to get hit by those two. Oh, look at that, beautiful kill from the M4. The Panzergren's taking shots from the M42 gun that's got itself sat on the road, but it does go down. Potentially it was the MG42 there, yes, must have been, that took down that M42 gun. The T-34E trying to manoeuvre around the forest. A VZ VOD coming in, but actually Herr Robert's gaining a significant foothold. The Panzer M4, the two kills were significant. It is now crew panicked, and Gonzo's going to pick up this kill surely. The T-34E flanking around, as well as the IL-37 coming in. Down it goes. And that takes away a hell of a lot of threat, because this T-34E, you know, it won't be matched. Well, it will certainly outmatch the SPW-231, and Herr manoeuvring that back again. He knows he can't engage that T-34E on its own, but 2 more Panzer M4s coming in, and if Herr can hold off until they get in, they will certainly reinforce. But Gonzo also reinforcing with 2 more T-34Es. This is a nice little battle on this southern side, and I feel like this could, you know, these 2 town areas, they're really going to shape how this game turns out. The Panzergrenz advancing on the Sapere, take out 1 unit in the transport, and even Gonzo sometimes loses units in those transports. The Sapere get the grenade off, take down the Panzergrenz to 1 health, but move in, and the Panzergrenz with the Panzerfaust are going to pick up the kill, and there's the surrender. The M42 gun potentially could get some nice shots against the Panzer IVs progressing across the bridge, but in comes the Königstiger, and it's in the southern side, guys. I did not expect a southern Königstiger, but potentially, yeah, I mean, it could sit up on this ridgeline and really hurt any reinforcements coming into that town. So actually, was I wrong when I said its best impact could be in the northern side? Potentially, I could have been certainly very wrong in that. It is currently firing off against the M42 right the way across the tops of the houses, and it does get engine damaged by those APCR shells. So even the M42, although they won't penetrate with the APCR shells, they will get criticals. Every shot or every hit with an APCR shell gets a critical, and this time it rolls an engine damage, but luckily the Königstiger, it doesn't really have to move that far from its current position. Gonzo pushing forward with the 2 T-34s, and the Panzer M4s have not yet arrived because they were tackling with that M42 gun, and Gonzo has managed to push back, take down a number of infantry, and I think it all comes down to these 2 Panzer M4s. The Gepard's coming in as well to provide the anti-air against those IL-2 attacks on the Königstiger, and very nice choice of unit from Herr very early on. All the action in this very southern area. Gonzo claimed the compound up there in the middle section, and Herr will find it difficult pushing back in there. So everything is focused on these 2 southern flags, or these 2 southern cities, and turrets stuck in on the Panzer M4. That's a harsh blow for Herr, but the other one manoeuvring through the town while the T-34E does as well. Will it get a nice ambush off? The T-34E was currently firing at the Panzergrenz, and they have no anti-tank weapon on them. They don't have the Panzerfaust, and 2 more Panzergrenz coming in, but again without the Panzerfaust. The 250-10 goes for the flank, but the T-34E changes, faces its frontal armour and gets the track broken. However, does suffer a load of knockout, but Gonzo straight onto it with his micro, immediately reversing. He knows he can't fire, reverses, waits for the loader to recover, and then pushes forward again to try and get the kill. The T-34s now seeing their opportunity, pushing forwards, and I think whoever wins this engagement, only 1 Panzer M4 against 3 T-34Es, down it goes. And actually these Gepards could be in trouble. Herr potentially doesn't realise, but yeah, the Gepards are engaging now. One of them could go down. Transmission destroyed. The Königstiger's moving across, but Herr has exposed those Gepards. He needs to move back the other Gepard. That is not in a fantastic position. He is now doing that. The M4 with the turret stock now has the chance to fire. No. Could not turn in time. The Königstiger will be the only threat left in this area. with three T-34Es, Gonzo could look to overwhelm, but he is reversing 2. I think that's because of the Focke-Wulf coming in there, and does unleash the bombs onto one of the T-34Es and gets it highly stressed out. But at the moment, the Königstiger not really in the most fantastic position. The T-34Es are pushing southwards, and they're certainly securing this open ground, and the Königstiger can't reply right now. Does start firing at this northernmost T-34E, gets the transmission destroyed, and surely it will take it out with the second blow. And it does so, but Gonzo bringing in the PTRS-41, potentially looking to ping some shots off against the lighter Panzer M4s. The Panzer Grenadiers pinned down now, more infantry coming in, Sturmoviki rocks. So very good close range infantry. The ZSU M15 coming in to face off against the Focke-Wulf bomber that came in early, and another Panzer M4 goes down. These T-34Es are providing excellent fire against these Panzer M4s, but the Panzer Grenadiers, this time with the Panzerfaust, moves into position just out of range. Sight damage goes down on the Panzer M4. The first Panzerfaust goes off, fuel explosion, fantastic work. The second one is stressed out. The Panzergrens rushing forwards across the open will fire the second Panzerfaust and do get the kill. Beautiful work with those Panzerfausts, and that's really helped Herr hold on to this southern side. The Königstiger still in there, but it's very close. I'm surprised. I don't know whether Gonzo is out of these M42 guns, but I am surprised right now. 2 M42 guns aren't rushing into this light forest, you know, being rushed up here into this position to really get those close range 200 meter shots off against the Königstiger. But in comes the IL-237. Could that do the job? I think the Königstiger just pushed back out of line of sight there, and Herr is down to just one Gepard. An off map is now coming in, but that's going to take a long while to get there. The IL-237 coming in for another run, but the Königstiger, I think, just dipped out of line of sight. Yeah, I think the IL managed to get one shot off. The Focke-Wulf comes in. Will it take it down? Oh, is forced back by the ZSU M15, and didn't quite manage to get the killing blow. The Gepard firing in on the Yak 9, coming across to try and take out that Focke-Wulf, but it's a bit late. And flying straight over the flak there. So I'm not sure whether Gonzo missed that micro opportunity. It looks like he's trying to push into this central compound. Currently he is holding the flag, but nothing there. The Pak 38 is doing some damage, but the OB-25s will now respond, and potentially Gonzo just securing or just reinforcing that central position. But Herr reinforcing the southern side, and he needs to it feels like now he's got this Königstiger in. In fact, the Königstiger has gone down. The Königstiger has gone down, guys. So potentially the T-34E's got the kill at very close range. I feel like the T-34E's probably got the kill at very close range there. The Königstiger's gone down, and that's a hell of a big loss for Herr Robert. The T-34E's doing a great job, losing one in reply there to the Panzer 4G, and Urzat's trooping coming in, but yeah, they get taken out before they get a chance to unload. The Sapari, well, the Panzer 4G goes down there to the T-34E. The Sapari throw the grenade. Oh, a Panzergren surrenders there, very close to the front line. More Panzergrens in, as well as the Panzer M4s, SDKFZ 5010s, and the Bayo UE 630F coming in now. Finally making its way to the front. The Focke-Wulf G1 dropping its bombs. Yeah, it was going for the T-34A, but it did. That one did get destroyed. and the ZSU M15 just pushing slightly further forward. Gonzo doesn't quite have this southern point yet. All of his armor's been knocked out, but that was a hell of a good blow, destroying that Königstiger. There's the ISU 152 in the very centre along with an OT-34, and Gonzo's got control over the centre area. He's going to advance on the MG42, and Herr needs to get some reinforcements in there. He needs an anti-tank gun in there soon, because that MG42 gun is going to go down and there's going to be nothing left there. But Herr currently focusing on this southern side, brings in an SFH 396 Russian 122mm artillery piece. It looks like he is starting to make his way through there, but Gonzo, I think, has kind of refocused into the centre town and this central position, and I think he will actually make a massive deal of progress in this centre town. Still nothing coming in here. 2 Flammenwerfers, but definitely not enough. Down goes the MG34, and look at the territory swing that's about to take place. The OT-34, I'm not sure what that was. I think I was aiming in the central town at the Panzergrenz in the house, but yeah, look at the territory swing. Herr, he knows nothing's there. If he can bring the ISU up into this kind of position, that's going to be a hell of a spot to harass Herr's reinforcing forces. But Herr needs to push forward in this southern area. He has the number of units here. I think he just doesn't realise that Gonzo's been wiped out, or almost wiped out in this southern side. Down comes the off map. Potentially the ZSU come down. Hopefully Herr, off the back of that off map, will push forward here, because Gonzo's got a lot of resources about to come into this southern side. So Herr needs to get forward, and he needs to get forward now. But Gonzo, he did concentrate on this southern town, and he's pushing right the way through there. And Herr's forces are in danger of almost getting cut off. Gonzo now bringing a lot into this southern side as well, and I feel like the opportunity's been lost for Herr on this southern area. And now look at all the infantry ordered for the central area, and Gonzo is just going to steamroll that central area. Herr, he can't reinforce every area right now. Looks like the push is now coming through into this southern side, but unfortunately I think it's too late. These Gvardia aren't going to get here in time. It really helped reinforce the situation. It depends on this M42 gun. If this M42 gun goes down without claiming any vehicle kills, then potentially Herr could make some decent progress. The off map coming in this central town, and that's a nice little spot for that Bayo. It can hit both areas, so a nice little spot for the off map, can cover both, you know, important sectors. But the OT-34 is pushed forwards into this light forest, and there's 2 Panzer IV-Gs coming down here. The Gvardia's coming into the position as well, and who will get there first? I think the Gvardias are gonna. I think Herr ought to maybe once they get a bit closer, Robert will reorder them into this town. The IL-2 coming in there, focusing on the light recon vehicles, just hoping to take a few of them out. The M42 gun still waiting there in an ambushing position. All the Gvardias are in now, so certainly, you know, a much more dangerous situation for Herr. He potentially could do with another off map now down into this position. The VZ-VOD being forced to fall back, but if that one survives, actually it'll be moving back into a better position to up-vet a lot of these units. Looks like the Focke-Wulf came in but didn't release its payload. The French the French artillery piece now targeting the M42 gun. The Gvardias have been reordered, but some Panzergrenz may just make it in time. The OT-34 won't have line of sight. I feel like the Gvardias are going to get this southern area, so at least one of the flags is going to be in jeopardy. The OT-34 moves forwards. The Panzer IV-G engaging, gets the armour crack. That's a big kill. The ISU is now going to be the main armour, but a lot of M42 guns back here. And it depends on how Herr pushes forwards with those Panzer IV-Gs. He's going to have to use a lot of infantry though to dig out the Gvardia in these positions, because without infantry or some kind of recon, the Panzer IV-Gs won't be able to discover the infantry within the houses and within the deep forest, just there with those Gvardia. Gonzo has the 1410, will get the victory in 26 minutes time, but Herr looking in trouble. We may be able to stabilise. He's not out of this yet, but he is going to have to invest a hell of a lot of resources into digging out these Gvardia, and that is going to hurt him. He does probably have more resources in the long game, but it kind of depends how this one pans out. He has lost a number of forces in this battle to retake this southern city, and trying to push back into the town, but I think Gonzo's dug into some nice positions with the IS-1 Komroti supporting, and yeah, I think actually Her's going to now need the SFH artillery piece. The ISU in a fantastic position, and that has a beautiful gun, the ML20. 165mm of penetration, but just look at the HE damage, 7. So every time that fires at a Panzergren, you know, basically the entire Panzergren squad is being wiped out. There it goes, lot. We just saw it in action. 8 soldiers wiped out in one shot. And those ISUs, in the right player's hands, absolutely fantastic. In my hands, perhaps not so much. But Gonzo certainly knows how to use the units at his disposal. The Panzer IV-G pushing forwards, potentially in a possible dangerous spot there, but I think the Gvardias will get stressed out before, yeah, they will get stressed out before they can release any anti-tank grenade. But a PTRS coming in, I think actually it's too late. The IL-2 though does get the killing blow on the Panzer IV-G. There is still one sticking around, and those IL-2s, oh, is it going in for a second shot on these Panzers? Yes, does take one out, and the other. 3 shots in one run there. Beautiful work by Gonzo. But will that make it out? The fighter, the Yak-9, coming all the way across the anti-air, potentially to take on the Focke-Wulf 180. The Gepard there, the only anti-air unit right now. I don't think that's going to take down the IL-2. They're very beefy. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. But switching, I think, targets onto the Yak-9. No, it was still firing at the IL-2, but it did get out. Now it's going to switch targets onto the Yak-9, and that Yak-9 is probably in trouble now. We'll get one more strafing run. Neither side gets the kill. Gonzo calling back the Yak-9, and I think it will just get out of range, yes, of the Gepard, and will fight to live to fight another day, and that is fantastic news for Gonzo. But look at the number of units now. Herr has ordered a Königstiger for the town, but Gonzo has, I feel, an overwhelming force right now. Her's going to have to trade very well to get back into this game. He's 14-10 down. The IL-2 coming in, and look at Gonzo. He's targeting it around for the side shot onto this Königstiger, and potentially, wow, the Focke-Wulf coming in. Will that get there in time? No, it won't. There is some shots being released. Gets the loader knockout, but it isn't able to finish the job. A Gepard is now coming in to cover the Königstiger. But the IS-1 pushing forwards, potentially seeing the opportunity with the falling back Königstiger. And I feel like that Königstiger's, like I said in B phase, you know, Gonzo has a number of unit advantage, and that Königstiger and a second Königstiger. So there's 3 minutes worth of income that Herr hasn't spent on other units, and you can see that in the disparity now. Obviously there'll be units lost through trades, but I feel like Herr, in spending money on those 2 Königstigers, he's about to get rolled over right now. He's going to get rolled over in the southern area, and look at the units coming into this central area as well. I feel like purchasing those 2 Königstigers could be the death knell for Herr. Obviously, you want those units on the field, but at the same time, spending so much money on them, it just takes away from the ability to field other frontline units. And right now, he's 14-10 down. He's about to lose another flag, and he's got M42 guns advancing on his Panzer IV-G. As long as that Panzergren with the Panzerfaust goes down, which it looks like it will to the Gvardia, then that M42 gun will get into position, and I think at that range will definitely take out the Panzer IV-G. So the Panzer IV-G does spot the M42 gun first, is reversing, but immediately armor cracked. Yes, fantastic job. And yeah, Gonzo's going to pick up that central flag as well with this southern one. Now a 15-9, 10 minutes on the clock. This SBW-233 is going to go down. There's only an MG42 here. The T-34E is going to push forward along with the IS-1, and potentially another flag going down there. These 2 Königstigers in the middle, they have to do so much work right now to recover this game for Herr. They need to take out this IS-1 Komrotti to start off with, at least. And they are, or one of them is now moving south to get that target. The IS-1 does go down there, so that's a good job, and the T-34E goes down as well. Hopefully Herr, maybe he can start to stabilise. Now he's got those 2 heavy tanks in, he can concentrate on bringing lighter and cheaper equipment in. But Gonzo making a push into this other central flag, and he's going to get that flag. Herr bringing down the Panzergrens to try and maybe get a kill in the transport, but no, the Gvardia unload, and that flag is going to go down. It's just a matter of time, really. The Königstiger is in position to fire at those units, but I don't feel like it's got enough power to hold off 4 squads all on its own. The French artillery piece is going to pound this little forest area, but again, on its own is not going to hold off all of these infantry units. The flag switchers, it's a 17-7 now, as well as this most southern rear flag. The KV-1E is actually being flanked now by the SDKFZ 259s. Does face frontal armour, gets the engine damage on one of them, or one of them goes down to an engine damage. They are falling back. Potentially something might be able to get in to possibly get a surrender, but the other KV-1Es are going to come in and cover, and I feel like these 3 altogether are going to take out these units. Panzergrens with the Panzerfaust are coming in, and potentially that could give Gonzo a little bit more of a headache. But another one goes down now, and I think the Panzergrens might move across, potentially get into Panzerfaust range, but the Gvardias are coming in to reinforce, and potentially, is he looking to push? No, he's just looking to get this central flag. I mean, he's holding this southern flag at the moment, but potentially we could see something try and reinforce that southern flag. Gonzo has enough right now. I mean, look how he's pushing infantry forwards ahead of this town. Very surprising, actually, that he's doing that. I guess he's seeing nothing there, and maybe he's trying to push forwards to get this rear flag. But very ambitious move. I'm not exactly sure why he's done that, but I mean, you can see he's got the territory advantage, so 2 Königstigers now in, but like I said, they've got a hell of a lot of work to do. Only 7 minutes, and just look at the number of infantry dug into these positions. The IL-2 coming in for the strike on one of the Königstigers, and the KV-1Es flank as well. I feel like this one's going to go down. Down goes the IL-2, but this KV-1E is going to move forward. Surely that's going to move forwards. No. I'm surprised Gonzo hasn't gone for the surrender, but the Königstigr, or potentially actually the SPW-233, got the killing blow. And for now, this Königstigr stays alive. KV-1E still targeting, trying to get a side shot in. It does recover, so potentially will stay alive for the moment, and that must have been... But wow, the central one goes down. We missed that, guys. The central one goes down. And the SPW down as well. So Gonzo is managing to take out these Königstigers. Really not having the effect in this game. And another IL-2 coming in now could get the killing blow on this final Königstigr. Yes, it does. So all three Königstigers down now, and well, that is the absolute linchpin of the 21st Panzer, and there goes the surrender. Gonzo gets the victory, 29 minutes 43 seconds, and commiserations to Herr Robert. I think in that game, bringing that first Königstigr down into the southern area, I think actually that was potentially a decent call. But I think Herr Robert missed an opportunity to push forward in that southern area after that, or when that very first off-map was coming down. I feel like he could have got that ridge and potentially could have threatened the reinforcements coming in from Gonzo, but Gonzo was heavily pushing in other areas as well, and for me, the ordering of the second two Königstigers, it was just... It was a catch-20. I feel like it was a catch-22 position there for Herr Robert. If he hadn't have ordered the two Königstigers, you know, you can feel like, well, that's the linchpin of, you know, the 21st Panzer. That's why they're there, for the Königstigers. They're the main force. That's the unit that the enemy has to beat. So to not use it kind of gives that advantage to the enemy, because they don't have to deal with it. But at the same time, it's 3 minutes worth of income in B phase, and that's 3 minutes. 3 ticks you're not investing in your frontline forces, your frontline infantry, and 3 minutes where Gonzo was bringing in 6 squads of Guardia at a time, or, you know, 4 squads of Guardia at a time. So that's potentially 12 infantry units that Gonzo's brought in those 3 minutes, and Herr Robert's brought in 2 King Tigers. So bit of a catch-22 there. Do you bring them in? Do you not bring them in? It's a tough choice. But Gonzo played magnificently in that game. We didn't really see the huge aggressive pushes or that he's famous for, particularly with the 116th Windheld. Is it Windheld or Windhund division? But I feel like there was a very steady game played by him, and the 26th Guards, they're considered a very good division. I don't think they're quite as good as they were with some of the artillery changes that have taken place, but I think they kind of shine with those infantry units, and they're in the right player's hands. Certainly we saw today a very formidable division. So let's have a quick look at the team stats. Gonzo gets the victory, 3,400 points to 2,400 losses, 1,000 kills over Herr Robert. Let's have a look at the kill list. This T-34E in the early stages, what a kill list that's got. Fantastic work. Second T-34E as well. In that southern area, the Gepard kill was a beautiful kill there. And those two T-34Es, look at all of these units, these lighter units that would have really put the hurt down on Gonzo's infantry. So if these two T-34Es didn't get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well 9, we'll not count the Gepard, 9 vehicle kills, then maybe that very southern side could have been a completely different story. But Gonzo microed those T-34Es fantastically well. I mean, we saw very early on, as soon as one of them got the loader kill, immediately Gonzo was retreating that unit until the loader recovered, and he was pushing it back forward to follow up with the kill. Very well microed. It was the T-34E, I think, that knocked out the first Königstiger. Yes, I remember. We did say it was likely to be that T-34E at close range. I mean, that was probably a 200-meter shot. So the Königstiger, maybe it showed side armor, but at 200 meters, I mean, Herr was using the Königstiger in very close range. You don't want your Königstigers to be engaging at that kind of range, but again, Catch-22, we know why Herr had to do that. Those T-34Es were flanking around his southern side, so he had to use the Königstiger to try and kill those T-34Es, but it just opened him up to those short-range engagements. The IL-237 picking up a number of kills, and those IL-237s were just harassing the vehicles of Herr throughout the game. I want to know what killed the second Königstiger. So here it is. It was an IL-237 that came in then. While we were looking at the most southern one, and we were focusing on that while it was in that stressed out, falling back state, there was a second IL-2 that came in on that more central Königstiger and did take that one down. So the IL-237's there. You know, they were there to take out those big heavy units, and they did that. And combined, well, it's 180 points apiece. So that's what, just under 500 points, I think, there with those 3 Königstigers going down. So that's half the difference in the points stake. Herr, he had some decent infantry very early on, picked up some decent kills, but I think, and that's why I was saying as well, those two T-34Es that did so much damage to the vehicles. Bearing in mind that Herr's come off so well with his infantry, if he'd have had those vehicles supporting, then potentially that could have been some serious moves put forward on Herr in the early stages. But those two T-34Es, they did tremendous work. I mean, just look here, if this SPW-231 takes out 3 Guardias and an M42 gun, you know, if there was what, nine of those types of units, so I think that could have been what, nearly 40 units potentially, you know. The Königstiger here, now this is what you buy them for. The KV-85 goes down, the ISU goes down, and the KV-1E goes down. But that was just one. The other one gets the one T-34E kill, and did the first one, I'm sure the first one got a T-34E kill, so 2 of them really didn't pay themselves off. One of them, I think with the ISU kill, did just pay itself off, but yeah, it will have done with the ISU and the 2 KV kills, but... And it was the Panzergren that took out the IS-1 Komrotti. So that IS-1 Komrotti was pushing very far forwards. I think it was trying to contest against the Königstiger, but yeah, Herr managed to get the Panzerfaust off to get that kill. So, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Congratulations to Gonzo, commiserations to Herr. This was game number... I think this was actually game number 2 between the pair. Game number 1, Gonzo won as well. But we will not be showing that one. And we are fairly far through the tournament now. I think the tournament actually ends this weekend. As I'm recording this, but we will I think we'll cover games for some more weeks to come. And the tournament is hotting up in Group 1 between the three at the top. Sean, Gonzo and Solo Wing Pixie is up there as well. So I think the key game will be Sean versus Gonzo. So look out for that one coming soon. When that one comes out, I feel like that is going to be the key matchup that decides the winner of Group 1. This coming week, or next week, we're going to have Brawl on Brest, the tournament. We are going to, I know that Rangru's cast a couple of these. I think he's got, he's had one come out on Tuesday and one's coming out Thursday. And yeah, I'm going to cast all of those Brawl on Brest games. I'm going to cast them all next week. So Monday to Sunday next week. Look forward to Brawl on Brest, the Closer Combat tournament. And potentially we're going to have at least one video a day, and potentially maybe a couple of days with 2 videos. This I think there's about 10 games or so. So we'll look to finish the finals on the Sunday. That's the aim. Hopefully we can stick to that. That's a hell of a lot of videos though, so I'm going to have to get cracking. But that's the updates out the way. Thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, throw me a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss anything. Also, check out the description. Plenty of links in there. Links to my Discord. I've just revamped my Patreon, so check out the Patreon page. I am going to be doing another video. I said I was going to do one. I am going to do a video on the Patreon just to explain the rewards a little bit better. But check that out, because I have just revamped the page, and so you may want to have another look at that. And then finally, Twitch streaming. Obviously check out the page on Twitch for the schedule. Really enjoying that, and come join me guys, come watch the games. Sometimes we cast a game, sometimes we playing 1v1s, but a lot of the time we're playing sort of 2v2s at the moment and 3v3s. So come join me, join in with the games, and it's been very fun for me so far. So thanks very much to everyone who's taking part, and I am enjoying that. Anyway, that's enough of me. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Birds. I will see you next time.